Okay, on this machine, I know I apply 75 pounds of force at the handles, and I want to figure out how much is being clamped on the block. Now, as I go through this, I will just start. There's lots of different ways. I think I'll start at the with the applied force, the known force, and I'll start with the top handle. The reason I'll start with the top handle is because A and B line up. Okay, there's lots of different ways I could start these problems. Okay, but you make choices just based on maybe making the math easier, different things of that nature. Okay. So what I have here is, again, I've got 75 pounds right there, and then I have both bx and by, which I'll put up and to the right, and then I'll do the same thing with ax and ay, I'll assume are up and to the right. Okay, so I've got four unknowns there. Now I need to go someplace else because I have four unknowns, only three equations. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to get to my unknown f. So I'm going to draw that top member there, which will look something like this, more or less, right? Where I'm going to have that applied force F here. I'll also have A, okay, because that's kind of the link here. I've got to flip those because I've already made an assumption about AX and AY. I've got to stick with that assumption following Newton's third law. Then I have a new force here that I'm calling D, which will be dx and dy. All right. So now I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've added three equations, but I've also added three unknowns. So I still need more equations. Okay, so now I can move any number of places. Okay, I can either move to the bottom handle or the bottom clamping mechanism. I think I'll move to the bottom clamping mechanism. Okay, not sure there's a real advantage to any of these. Either one will work. I've got the force down like that. Then I've got D, which again I've seen before, so I got to stick with my assumption. So instead of up and to the right, I got to go down and to the left. And then C, which is brand new, which I have right here, which I'll assume up and to the right. Okay, so I've added three equations, okay, but only two unknowns this time with the C. Okay, so at this point, I have 9 equations, 9 unknowns. Recognize what I'm trying to actually find here, which is the force F. Okay, so keeping that in mind, also keeping in mind my linking values, which are essentially A and D, because they show up in more than one free body diagram. So what I don't care about is B as well as C. Okay, so I think I'll start with where I ended, and I'll sum the moments about C, okay, knowing that, again, I don't care about what C is. So from that, my F is going to be from C, and you have to kind of step through, it's going to be 205, okay, times F. Okay, and again, I get that from 140 plus 85 minus 20 in that horizontal direction between C and, I guess, point E, or where the F force is. And then I've got dy, which is going to be 65 over, and that's 85 minus the 20, right? And that dy is going to also create a positive, so I'll say plus 65, oops, 65 dy. Okay, and then I have the minus, that'll be 50 times dx. I guess that's plus 50 times dx equals 0. So one equation, okay, with three unknowns. Okay, now what I'm going to do, again, I'm looking for d here. Okay, d's of interest to me. Okay, I guess the other one I don't care about is B. So maybe I head up to the top here and I sum the moments about B up here. And with that summing the moments about B, right there, I'm going to get 50 times AX minus, okay? And then I'm going to get 140 minus, and that'll be 75, and that will equal 0. So from that, I'm going to learn that AX equals negative 210. So what I think I'll do here is I'll start writing what I know about things, okay? I know that has to be in the opposite direction. That has to be 210 in that direction, okay? Therefore, this AX has to be flipped as well, going in that direction, okay? So what I have now is in this middle picture, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 unknowns, right? Because now I know AX, okay? I have 3 equations. I have a 4th equation down here, so now I should have enough that I can go ahead and solve this. So what I'll do is I'll start summing my force in the x direction here, where I'm going to have dx plus 210 equals 0. I'm going to have the sum of the forces in the y, which I have my f plus dy minus ay equals 0. Okay, and then I'll sum the moments, and I am summing the moments. I probably maybe should have done D. I'm going to sum the moments about A, okay, because that's what my notes say, but I think I did it a little differently the time before. Anyway, from this I get negative 85 times dy. Again, that's the horizontal distance times dy minus, no, that'd be plus 50 times dx, okay, and then minus 225 f equals 0, okay? So from here, I get dx equals, negative 210, okay? So what does that mean? Well, this flips around. So that dx is in the wrong direction. That needs to go this way. I've got 210 in that direction. Now, because of that, okay, I need to take into account, this should be a 50, okay? But then what I need to recognize is that dx right here is also flipped. It needs to be in this direction. That needs to be 210, okay? Which means that this needs to be, rather than plus 50, needs to be minus 50 times the 210 equals 0, okay? So I've got that, okay? Now, I guess I didn't even really need, let's see here. Oh, I've also got this dx right here, so this has to flip as well. This goes to negative, okay? And I've got the dx here. Again, a lot of this is just bookkeeping here, but now I've got 2 equations and 2 unknowns, right? I've got these 2 equations with just 2 unknowns, dy and f. And I can go ahead and solve that. I'll let you do that on your own, but when I do that, I'll find that f equals 388 newtons. Okay, so kind of lots going on here. Got to be careful. Kind of a bookkeeping issue, but ultimately I'm going to get down to, I guess, his 5 equations, 5 unknowns, solve through that very methodically to figure things out. Okay, kind of go piece by piece, keeping track of what you know, what you don't know, flipping signs as necessary, and you get a force of 388. Again, mechanical advantage on this is about 5 times bigger, okay, than the 75 put in. So again, that's the advantage of these machines, is that you increase the amount of force output over the force that has been input.